So, hi guys. Today, the topic of the discussion is 5 months to CAT, specifically 2024. And, there are a lot of you who've been finishing graduation and you would like to really decide whether 5 months is enough to really prepare for CAT or not. This question comes up a lot to me. In fact, whoever is coming to my center right now, they keep asking, is it enough? So I thought that let me make a, you know, entire video on this, whether 5 months is enough or not. I think the first thing which each one of you have to decide is to really look at what are you really fighting for in this CAT 2024. Like, are you fighting to get 99 percentile? Are you fighting to get 95 percentile? Are you fighting to get 90 percentile or 85 percentile? I think the end has to be absolutely clear. And do not let ego come in between this, right? Why I'm saying ego? Because there is a difference between dreams, aspirations, and reality. Now, I would love that you get that 99.9. Which faculty or mentor would not like you to get that 99? Obviously. But you have to also look at कि आपने जिंदगी में कितने पाप और पुण्य कर्म किए हैं. And based on that, in 5 months' time, you have to decide. For example, let's take up, you tell me that you are someone who's been a 98 percenter in 10th and 12th. You went to one of the top colleges in the country, and then you wish to really understand whether 5 months is enough or not. Then I would say that maybe 2 and 2.5 months is enough for you to really ace the cat. And when I say ace the cat, I am talking about 99 plus percentile, right? But let's take up, if you have been someone who's been a okay student, you've been a 90 percenter, 10th and 12th, and graduation also you have done well. And you have been reading a lot throughout your graduation. You've been doing internships. Then I would say, again, getting this 99 is going to be a bit of challenge, but not impossible. With the right kind of mentorship, with right kind of planning strategy, it's actually very much within your distance to reach 99. But let's take up someone like a student who has been a 50 percenter 10, 12th, graduation also 55, and you have been someone who has been sports person or a musician, or you've been really, focusing on other aspects of life, enjoying life, right? And when I say enjoying life, it is not as if, you're wasting your time. You might be actually investing your time on some other aspects, some other pursuits, and suddenly you said, okay, I want to decide for CAT, right? Now, in that case, I think a 99 plus percentile, you need to be really, really focused. Impossible is nothing, right? But really focused, study, and still it is possible to get that. But then, uh, let me take you to the first sentence I said. I said, who are you is very important. Your social status is important. When I say social, it is also very important for you to understand that these days, whether you are, what gender is important. So whether you are a boy or a girl, you know that girls have a bit of advantage in terms of well-deserved advantage, I would say, isn't it? So you get 5 to 15 marks on the basis of gender diversity. So which is why you have a situation where you would become a Krishna Kanhaiya if you were a boy in IIM Rohtak, because I think out of a batch, almost 90% are going to be girls, it seems this year, right? On the lighter side, I was just today itself telling one of my students, he's joining IIM Rohtak, that, and no offense meant that every week you can actually, change your girlfriend, and out of 104 weeks, you would still be left with few girlfriends. And he was very, very, amused by that. And so is IIM Kozhikode. So you have a 60%, 40% kind of a ratio. So obviously there is an advantage of being a girl. So if you are one of the girls out there, I think you can just take the plunge. You have that advantage, and especially non-engineer girl is going to really enjoy the ride. Why? Because typically if you see, if you solve out of 66 questions, 15 questions out of 66, and if you are a okay kind of a student, 80 percenter kind of a student, you are sure to get calls for your interviews. And if you do your interviews well, you will get into one of the IIMs. Right, there's no doubt over it. I have seen it happening over a period of, several years now. Let's take up you are a non-engineer boy, but if you are a OBC student or a EWS student, again, you have an advantage of subject diversity and you have an advantage of being a student who would get some advantage because you are a EWS or a OBC student or SC/ST. I think again, if you score around 90-95 percentile, you're sure to get calls as far as IIMs are concerned. And 90 percentile would again mean 15 questions out of 66. So again, very much within your uh, realm. Now let's take up you won 99. I'm not saying that you won't get 99, but 90 will do the job for CAT 24. Maybe you don't join, that's fine. But if you have been an average student and if you want 99.9, you need to be both very focused or maybe uh, God has to be with you, then you should be able to get. But the gist of all my last 5 to 7 months minutes of discussion is that it is possible if someone is pretty focused and if you get a good mentorship, right, very good set of materials and test series for which I would obviously vouch for IMS. I've been associated with it for a long period of time and I can tell with a lot of pride that the test series is fantastic. It is called SimCat and for right reasons. It is as if you are already taking a cat. So, if you take up the tests regularly, you will be out there. So now to the next part of my discussion. What do toppers do? How do they really prepare? Because a lot of toppers you will speak to, they'll say that, we prepared in 5 months' time. So, and toppers are across the board. It's not as if only someone who goes to an IIT are toppers. You see a lot of other toppers also from other engineering colleges, from other colleges also. You see BBA students being topper. You see commerce students being topper. It's just that engineers get talked about more, but a lot of non-engineers, as per the proportion of students who are taking CAT, they do, get those 99.9. A lot of attention is given to 100 percentile. So even 100 percentile students are non-engineers, BBA and BCom students, right? But the talked about are largely engineers. That also shows that sometimes you are a bit, defensive, and that's why you see what you want to see. But I have been looking at so many non-engineers who've been doing excellently well, who have been in top 100, top 16, top 20, scoring those 99.9 and 8. So, which is why it comes from that experience that very much possible for you to think like toppers and to act like toppers. So, whatever experience I had of, doing well in CAT, scoring more than 99, and most importantly, mentoring a lot of 100 percentilers and 99, I can share with that. So let's take up a couple of slides. I will take you through. So this is the agenda. How do I derive maximum score from my preparation? And why are my scores stagnant? I do everything. How do I start if I haven't done anything so far? And will I be able to get into, Blackie or top colleges in 6 months' time? I think these are the genuine questions which right now you would have. And even if you are preparing for CAT 25, I think these are questions which everybody would have. So these are generic questions which keeps coming to us. And I thought that let me answer these questions. So we need to understand CAT and its toppers. What is tested by CAT? What do toppers do differently? And how do we really maximize the outcome? What to focus on and the preparation plan. That is what is the agenda. So let us talk about CAT and its toppers. So I'll show you, CAT 19, what happened in CAT 19 and 20 and 21. I didn't have too much of time to make it 22 and 23, but I'll share that and it's no different, right? So let's take up CAT 19 a bit. So 19 was the COVID year. At that time used to be 100 questions, 180 minutes. So not very relevant for you. After that, things changed and it became 66 questions. The number of questions came down, number of hours also came down a minute. But it is worth looking at what happened in 19. So you must have seen Tita. So Tita is type in the answer where you do not get options and you also do not have negative marking out there. You get an on-screen calculator and fixed section order and time limit. It starts with English, goes to data interpretation and logical reasoning and goes to maths. So look at that time, 80, 85, 90, you can see 99 percentile in CAT 19. So which is 64 in English and LRDI 52 and 61, so 158. But there were 100 questions out there, so that means out of 300 marks, you required 158 marks, which would mean that roughly just more than 50%, isn't it? So this is what we can see as far as 99. Look at 90. 90, why? Because a lot of students start getting calls from IIMs, in fact, greater than 85 only. Many of the students who are EWS OBC students, they start getting at 85. And 85 out of 100 questions would mean uh, what? Around roughly 27 questions out of 100, which means around 27%. Now, if you see uh, CAT 20, you will not see anything different. In fact, you would see the cutoff going down only, right? So this time, look at specifically, I will take you to 90 percentile, right? Let me just take you to 90 percentile in CAT 20. This is what it is. So if you see a 90 percentile here, you will see 63 marks, and 63 marks is, you can just divide by 3. So you will see 21 questions correct. Now, 21 questions correct. Look at 99, roughly around 34 questions correct, right? And keep this in mind that out of 66 questions, if you're looking at 21 questions correct, you have 24 questions in, roughly 26 questions in English, and CAT 20, there were 76 questions. So still, you had more questions out there, right? So from 100, it came down to 76 questions. So this time, 21 questions correct. Now, this is what you have taken. So I've kept 21 because 21, 22, and 23, nothing changed. It became 66 questions from 21. And that is what you are continuing with in 22 and 23. And that's what you are going to look at in CAT 24 and 25 itself, until unless they change it. But that is what we have seen now. And we have understood from CAT board that they are not going to really change, right? Even if they change, please remember, they do tell you in advance that they are changing and the number of questions are going to be on the lower side or on the higher side. So let's take up 90 questions, 90 percentile, 60, which means 20 questions correct. That's how you can look at 90 percentile. So if you look at 99 percentile, 97. So you have, again, if you look at 33 questions, right? Let me tell you something very, very interesting thing. CAT 22 and 23, especially 23, the number of questions you would like to get correct was 27 questions out of 66 questions. That means if you get 81 questions correct, you've been able to get 99 percentile. So it actually came down in CAT 23, right? And that means 999 questions. So in English, if you get 9 correct in data interpretation and logical reasoning, you get 9 questions correct in maths also. And that means we are talking about in DILR 2 sets, right? In English, there are more questions because 20 questions in DILR, you have 24 questions. So out of 24, you are looking at 9 questions correct. And you can understand, it's not very difficult as such. So if you have a good plan, I think the first thing would be a very good plan, right? Believing in yourself, understanding that out of 24 questions, if I attempt around 14 to 15 questions, if I allow myself 4 or 5 questions incorrect, and I still land up with around 10 questions correct. And 10 would mean with 1 or 2 theta questions, 3 questions incorrect, you still allow yourself to get 27 marks, right? And same is true with DILR and with quants. But look at 99 percentile in 2021, 90 percentile in 2021, 60. That means 20 questions correct. We've been telling students, especially people who are weak with maths and DILR. I'm not assuming that all of you are weak, but some of the students get very worried about DILR and maths. They say that, okay, I've been a commerce student, I've been a uh, you know, humanities student, I can't solve too much. Look at 5 questions in quants and 5 questions in DILR. That means if you have a strategy of 1 question, 1 set correct in DILR and 1 set in, in 5 questions in mathematics, then in that case, you are looking at 10 questions of English. If you fancy yourself in English, why not? You can attempt out of 24 around 15 questions and still get 90. And 90, mark my words, you are looking at joining one of the IIMs, right? Non-IIMs, if you're looking at joining IMT Ghaziabad call, Great Lakes call, KG Somaya call. There are hosts of colleges like Goa Institute of Management, IMI, uh, Exam Bhubaneswar, many colleges where you will get calls. So it's not bad. 90 percentile is also good enough in 5 months' time if you've been an average student. But obviously, I would love that if you can get those 99 and 100. Okay. So I've given you a bit of snapshot of about questions because when you start preparing, it's good to understand the paper, what this paper is all about, right? Now, let us look at number of questions because that's what you are going to get. 16 questions of reading comprehension and 8 questions of verbal ability. And you can look at where do these questions of reading comprehension comes from: business, economics, science, technology, art, music, literature, philosophy, sociology, psychology, politics. Now you tell me, while you are doing your graduation, do you really read from here? Let's take up a typical engineer would not read. A typical commerce would read about business and economics, would never read about, or I should not say never, but generally would not read about science, technology, art, music, literature, philosophy, unless you are deeply interested. A humanities student would read a bit about philosophy, sociology, may miss out on polity and psychology, may miss out on literature, may miss out on art, music, and definitely misses out on science, technology. So, what I'm trying to say, nobody gets a competitive advantage unless that person has really worked hard and built up their reading comprehension. Right. So there is a general sense that, okay, if you are a science student, you get this advantage. If you are an engineer, you get this advantage. Bullshit. Sorry to use a cuss word out there. But you don't get those advantages. Everybody, this is like a persecution complex. Because I have studied engineering and I am a general candidate, so therefore I am at a disadvantage because I am GEM. Good to think like that. But there are a large number of GEM who get good score. Why don't you look at them? If I am a commerce student, no, commerce student, I have not studied maths, I won't do well. I know so many BB and commerce students who actually do better in maths and data interpretation than English. I know so many engineers who are not being able to handle mathematics, but they handle English with Elan, right? Because they have been reading. So do not slot yourself in any subject as such. Uh, I don't think our education system is such that it really prepares us with either maths or English when it comes to these competitive exams. Everybody starts with a kind of a clean slate. So therefore, everybody has to prepare. So don't really think in terms of your subject that what I have studied. Think, how do I improve my English and maths? These are different set of questions. I don't find that in my school and college. Therefore, this is a new experience. It's like learning a new hack or a new kind of a skill. And taking CAT is a skill, right? Your background would not really be of very useful to you for large number of students. Some of you are nerds, some of you are very good. Why not? Right? You've been working on that, you will be rewarded. But largely, if you ask me, 98 to 99% of students, they really work hard. They understand from their mentors the requirement of the test. They work hard in a disciplined way, and that's how they do well, right? There's no magic out there. If you see verbal ability, TETA questions are para-jumbled, so you don't get negative marking. Summary or MCQ, you do get negative marking out there. Out of context questions are there, which we call odd one out. There is no negative marking. Grammar and vocabulary is not tested, but they have not written a letter to me that next year they are not going to test, right? But because for the last so many years, 8 to 9, 10 years, they have not tested, we will assume it will not test it, but I would suggest that at the end, maybe in last 1 month of your preparation, you should look at grammar and vocabulary because you never know. You would know by 15th October that whether they are going to test your grammar or vocabulary or not. And they are well within their rights to really test it because earlier they used to test grammar and vocabulary. So in order to be foolproof. Now, don't expect that when I give you a test series, I'm going to put grammar and vocabulary in CAT because then I won't be very popular. You will say, oh, what kind of question paper you are setting? It doesn't come in CAT. And, I don't want to be unpopular. I want to be popular. So let me be very clear and honest about it. I'll give you what you want to eat, right? So I'll give you ice creams, I'll give you all those bad food because last 5 years, 6 years, 8 years, uh, that's what the trend is. So people, people would really take us to cleaners on social media if we give any test which is not as per cat. So we play the gallery. But as a mentor, I'm telling you, you must be prepared for any eventuality because that's what CAT is all about, which is why we've kept out there that these are also questions. And anyway, grammar and vocabulary is tested in other exams, like in XAT, a lot, right? You also have other exams like CMAT, you have symbiosis, you have Narsi-Monji. So it makes sense to really prepare for them and be ready because just after CAT, you have these exams and you don't get too much of time. So Simbi comes pretty fast. Narsi-Monji just after CAT, ZAT just after, let's take a 1 month, 1 month, 1 week after CAT. Why not really prepare yourself for that, isn't it? Okay. So where do you really read what should be my in 5 months' time? I think a combination of our tests, right? When I say our test, I would say unabashedly IMS tests, right? But you can take up others also. So it's not as if I'm really saying IMS. You have other test prep institutions and you are a student of that. Everybody does a decent job. At the same time, I'm telling you, I'm very biased. I feel IMS does it very well. And if you take a general popular opinion of all the toppers, they'll tell that IMS test series and IMS tests are a must. Everybody. So you can get more opinions about people, but then you can read their questions, right? You can take tests, solve tests, and some of the popular blogs like Aeon. I think that's what really makes a difference. I would add Scientific American, Project Syndicate, right? These are a couple of popular blogs. Or New Yorker, you can read New York Times, although it is very, very leftist, but then, writes well. You can read Washington Times. And I think largely I would say read foreign publications because most of the questions and the papers out there, they are very much the language reflects foreign publications. So therefore, for GK stuff, for your general knowledge, you can read Hindu, Times of India, whatever you wish, to Economic Times. But when it comes to CAT question paper and the articles, I think it's good to really start with foreign publications, right? Okay. So let me take you to data interpretation. So what does it offer you? Good calculation skills. That is what tables, bar graph, line graphs, pie charts, and caselets are about. But if you see data interpretation of last couple of years, you will see that I would rather say that DI is now more of mathematical reasoning. So calculation based DI is less, right? And I am obsessed about calculations. Uh, but since in CAD they give you calculator, some of you are not able to manage in 5 months' time. I would give you a kind of a grace marks and say, don't get right now in 5 months obsessed about it. Just comfort level with numbers are more than enough. But if you know your mathematics and what chapters, percentage, average, right? Also bit of set theory and very basics of I would say permutation combination. I think data interpretation questions you can handle. And it is a logical reasoning part, which is very crucial because even the DI paper is very heavy on LR. So if your LR is good, along with the areas I have talked about, I think you will be able to really manage. 3 sets, I won't say it is very easy, but 3 sets with a lot of hard work and 2 sets pretty okay. Like a lot of you can do it. But please remember, one set is 90 percentile. So if after 3 months of preparation, if you're getting one set correct, I think you are on right track. Keep persisting with it. You will see in 5 months' time, you actually solving 2 sets. Right. So the areas of arrangement, grouping, roots, general, this is what has been happening in LR for a long period of time. Binary logic, Venn diagrams, min-max questions, right? Games, tournaments, and stuff like that. So a benchmark is, as I have written, 5 questions, 85 to 90 percentile, 8 questions around 95. So, and we will discuss about strategy in my next video, where I'll talk about specifically about English, specifically about LRDI, and I'm going to make videos on mathematics also. So that's going to come next very soon. Uh, Talk about quants. Uh, Let me be a bit biased. I teach quants in DILR, but I'll tell you, I solve all questions of English, right? But quants is your easiest section. This is one section any faculty is going to teach you. The questions are going to come from there. I would say there is not too much of innovation when it comes to maths questions, right? The questions are all of 10 standard, but twisted. Please put this in your head. This is someone, it is coming from experience. I have done it myself. My students have done it year after year. I see. So if anybody tells you uh, it is 11th and 12th, I think you take it with a pinch of salt. Largely, the questions are 10 standard. And if you don't do well, it's because of you, because you've not practiced enough, because you unnecessarily got scared, and not because the question threw you 11, 12 questions, right? Five questions. See, it's like there is no exam which doesn't repeat, and CAT repeats itself like crazy. You solve previous year PYQ questions of last 10 years, you solve test series, and you will see those questions repeating. I think the challenge is whether you remember those questions, how did you solve or not, but the questions are not going to be very difficult. It's only when you fight for 99.5 and above is when you will see that the challenge is going to be there. But out of 22 questions, excuse me, solving around 10 questions is not big deal, which takes you to around 99, and 15, 16 questions. Yes, you've done it very well. But there are students who solve around all questions and get around one, two questions, right? Those are very good students. But to get that 99, nine questions correct, very much within your realm. And that is what I have written here. Five questions around 85, eight questions around 95, and last year, nine questions around 99. But around 12 questions is short 99. These are the topics: school topic, numbered system, arithmetic, nine questions around arithmetic, but algebra. This, see, CAT is largely about numbers and algebra. If you are good with numbers and algebra, it will help you in arithmetic also, everywhere. So although 40% is arithmetic, but not learning algebra, not learning number theory is going to hurt you big time. So don't get too fixated about arithmetic. You learn algebra and number system and arithmetic, then largely you have covered it. I I'm not too convinced about modern maths being what do you say, difficult area. I think set theory is something which is very important. It helps you in your data interpretation. It helps you in maths. And one question of very easy, what do you call that? Coordinate geometry, very easy set of questions. Geometry, again, school geometry, but twisted questions, right? But very, very interesting. You'll really enjoy when you once you solve geometry questions. Okay. So let's take up now, what do toppers do differently? So they read a lot and lot. During my time, I used to read, see, I became very obsessed with cat. Let me confess that, right? I'm still obsessed with it. So I used to read, and a lot means I'm ashamed to tell you, see, I was very weak in English, not very good. So I used to read around 5 to 6, 7 hours. So it's like I would get up, I'll study around, I will solve around two sets of DI, two sets of LR, and then I would solve one or two chapters of mathematics. That would take around 3 hours. And then, and I used to study a lot. So Saturday, Sundays would be a lot of hard work. So 7 to 8 hours of reading, newspapers, magazines, novels, doing word meaning, doing word power made easy. And that's how I could really manage myself. Yeah, a lot of you are very good. You have been to top schools, so I don't think you would require that. But if you are one of the weak students like what I was, if you've been to a Hindi medium school, even if you've been to a CBSE school, uh, you know, I think still it makes sense to read a lot, because reading would make a tremendous difference. Even maths is about English. You don't understand maths, the English behind maths, you won't be able to solve questions of mathematics, isn't it? Okay, so focus more on how than on what, right? How did it happen? So let's take up a question on English. Questions are on central idea. Questions are on tone of the question. So the how is very, very important, right? Questions are on assumption, questions are on inference, questions are on what implicit, questions are on conclusion, strengthening the argument, weakening the argument, strengthening the conclusion, weakening the conclusion, whole lot of questions out there, right? So therefore how is very important, and you need to learn concepts quickly and efficiently. If you ask me, it won't take more than 10 days to really get hold of the kind of questions which comes. I can't say that in 10 days time you will be prepared. If you've been reading a lot, you can actually be very, quickly you can reach CAT level. And repetition, retention, and recall is what is really required. And you also require alternative techniques, which your faculty would do it. Uh, right. In fact, Asha is going to come on this channel, and she is the one who will discuss a lot of English topics. And I intend to put some of the maths and DILR out here. So let's see how it goes. Uh, Prep because they want to, not because they need to, isn't it? And perseverance. Perseverance is something which is required everywhere. So, how do we maximize outcome? This is the part two of the entire stuff. So, strategies. So, taking a good look at where you stand is taking a test. So, you can go to any site, any you know, uh, coaching center, and I would prefer you to go to IMS. We call it SimCAT 0. Take up that SimCAT 0. It will really tell you where you stand. But when you take this test, do not do negative marking. Zero is okay. In fact, on lighter note, a lot of times I say, even in CAT, you go there, enjoy the AC for 2 hours, and don't attempt if you're not prepared. You get zero. A lot of times you get 35, 40 percentile. You get many colleges where you will get salaries of around 9 to 10 lakhs, right? And I'm not joking. I'm dead serious. You score 7, 8 questions correct, you get 70 percentile. Trust me, I'd had students who have been OBC student, EWS students, SCSC students with that 70, 7 questions correct, 3 questions of maths, 2 questions of DILR, 2 questions of English. They got through some of the IIMs, right? 70 is also good. Obviously, I don't want you to get 70, but don't demean that strategy of accuracy. You don't know, leave it. This exam is about that. You get a bouncer, leave it. Even in T20, you can leave a bouncer and do well, isn't it? Let's hope India wins in T20 World Cup. The team doesn't look so encouraging, right? Uh, but let's hope so. A lot of times luck plays a role. So England is out, Pakistan is out, Sri Lanka is out, right? They have been our tormentor, especially England have been our tormentor. Only Australia is left. And what, South Africa, West Indies. So let's see how it goes. But take a good look at where you stand. If you are zero in quants, it doesn't matter, right? You must know where you are and then work on it. So testing is very important. What else? Being honest to yourself will help you a lot, right? And a lot of times, people are in delusion. Okay, great. You want to get into IIM Ahmedabad. And I would love if you get into IIM Ahmedabad. But IIM Ahmedabad requires you to get, let's take up 99.92, right? You have 5 months' time and you've done a lot of pap karam in your life. And now suddenly you get up and in 5 months' time you say, I would get 99.92 or nothing. Look, you will get 99.9. But instead of 5 months, it might take 10 months. So don't get nervous about it, right? Dreams, aspirations are fine, but you also need to be a bit realistic. Or at the end of the day, you also require grace of God. So if you are realistic and if you have a grace of God, yes, you will get that 99.9. But uh, if you've never studied in your life properly, and can it happen 99.9 in 5 months' time? Yeah, I leave a window of hope. Hope is very important. So, yes, I have seen people doing it. And if you are one of those students, I would really love to have you as my student. I love lucky students, isn't it? Any day. So, you come to me, I'll train you, and if you are lucky, great. Okay. So do the basic concepts really well, and that would mean can you teach someone who's your younger brother or sister at in fifth standard? That is what it means. In fact, I ask my students that chapter by chapter you teach someone. Right? There are 36 chapters in quants. If I count DI and LR around roughly around in DI around 5, 6 chapters, LR around 8, 10 chapters, altogether 16 chapters, it won't take too much of time. So if I add that one chapter a day, 36 days in quants, one chapter of DILR 16 days, so 52 days, and English, believe me, 8 days. In 60 days, you can actually do your CAT preparation one round. In next 1 month, you can do the second round, and 3 months more. Every 10 day, you can do 3 rounds. By the time you reach CAT, you can actually revise this 8 to 10 times and you can take tests also. Very much possible. Okay. So mocks, I was talking about, mocks are the most crucial aspect of your preparation. Everyone will tell you. But yes, sometimes, don't get too influenced if you watch a topper's Insta account and say, okay, I only prepared, I took mock and I did 20 mocks and I got 99.9. Great. Uh, some of the students do get it. But let me tell you with lot of due respect, a large number of students, unfortunately, in order to sound cool, in order to sound intelligent, in order to sound great, intellectual, they lie, right? They don't tell you the exact truth. They have been preparing for ages. But yes, this CAT, they took 2025 tests. But they won't tell you that they started in first year, right? Then they took CAT, they couldn't get through. Then either they are working or they are not working. But again, they took CAT next year, right? Again, they couldn't get through. Again they took CAT in third attempt. अब कितना preparation करेंगे आप? Isn't it? So then they took tests, they became better, they've been preparing for 3, 4 years time. So obviously, a lot of them, unfortunately, I don't know, I don't agree with that, but they do hide and they say, okay, I've been preparing only for by taking test series. Half truth, right? So go to whoever is your mentor, whoever you like them. But one mentor, and I would insist, although I'm online, one offline mentor in your city is a must. While you can have your online mentors, great. But when somebody is in front of you, they understand you in and out. What we call in English vibes, VIBES, right? You need someone who understand you. You need someone who can really say, bullshit, you are not working hard. Who needs someone who can tell you, look, the ups and downs of your cat is, it used to happen to me, right? So it's quite okay with the score goes down, right? So therefore, this is a roller coaster. You need one buddy with you, somebody who can talk sense to you. Right. So therefore, I would definitely suggest you, wherever you are, whichever city in the country you are, you should go offline, talk to those people. And they need not be those necessarily 99 percentile. They need not be a IM grad. If you are a small town, you might get somebody from not so great institution which you would want like to join. Still you go there. Right. I always give an example of Ramanand Achrekar, coach of Sachin Tendulkar. He himself never played for the country. Sehwag's coach doesn't, he never played for the country. But look at the kind of, uh, you know, the players they churned out. So don't judge your coach only by the colleges or the percentile they have got it. A lot of them, they may not have got those percentile, but they are perfect as coaches. Right. So therefore, go to them, talk to them. Sometimes they are more useful for a lot of 99s. Right. I'm not discounting them, but you can always talk to them, strategies to them. Right. Whoever is nearest to you. Okay. So judge yourself based on what you have studied and solved. So let's continue. So this ABC approach is what we call, abhi baad mein aur chhod do. See? So what is it is, uh, when I take a test, and I do take a lot of tests, what do I look at it? I look at it that, let's take up quants. So I just look at all 22 questions in one go. And if I see a question where I know that mind में बन जा रहा है, let's take up example 2 to the power 56 divided by 5. What could be the last, or what could be the remainder? Or 5 to the power, not 5 is too easy. 7 to the power 2024 divided by 3. What could be the last two digit of a number? Right? These questions are something which you can do it in your mind. So I would say these are my abhi questions. So I just mark, right? Maybe if I'm very well prepared, out of 22 questions, I'll get around 5 to 6 questions which I can do it abhi. Look at what kind of encouragement I get. 5 to 6 questions in 90 percentile. So when you start your test with 90 percentile, you know these abhi questions will not take more than 5, 6 questions. And I'm sure you know that questions are hidden. So you can invest 2 to 3 minutes. I call it investment rather than wasting on looking at questions and reading all 22 questions. And these abhi questions, you can see which are these questions. These are the questions which you got in your SIMCATs. These are the questions in your test series. These are the questions which you got it in your books, in your sectional test. You have solved 15 times these questions. You know that okay, I'm going to get question if I spend a minute or two on that. What will happen in six minutes? 6 questions, maybe 15 minutes. Now I have 25 minutes. Imagine per question if I give 5 minutes also. And if I solve 4 questions, I have 9 questions and I have 99 percentile. This is how a lot of students get 99. And I'll tell you one of the worst kept secrets of IIMs. Most of the students who get into IIMs, ABC included, they've missed their bus during their plus two. A lot of them, they couldn't get through IIT Bombay, IIT Delhi, IIT Chennai, or Madras, or IIT Kanpur. So therefore, for them, IIM Ahmedabad, Bangalore, Calcutta is like it redeems them. So therefore, most of them who are in IIMs, right, they are in typical sense average students, right? It's not that they are like great set of, including me, right? Even I missed that bus of IIT JEE. That's how I worked hard, got those 99. I went to my business school. I went to IFT Delhi. But during my time, Indore and Kozhikode, like in rank and all that, still IFT does well, right? Was on the lower side. So people would always join IFT Delhi over Indore and Kozhikode. So no defense, no offense meant for Indore Kozhikode. It's just that a lot of people still do it. They join IRMA, they join some other colleges. These are choices, right? These are always like people based on their perceptions and what they look at a college. I loved IFT Delhi and it still really felt that I took such a good decision. I went there. So the point I'm trying to say is that all these guys, they get 99, and normal people, people who get 70, 75% in their graduation or in their 10th and 12th, these are the people, most of them filled up. So if you look at their profiling, don't get too enamored. These 99 is not something which is a big deal. If you look at scores of students who've got 99 and 99.9, sometimes you will see a difference of 60 marks. That's 20 questions. That's much of difference is there between 99 and 99. So 99, very much possible. And for a lot of you, it will pull you to a ABC. I hope you understand. Okay. So बाद में is what? ऐसा क्वेश्चन आता है ना कभी कभी, यू लुक एट इट एंड से अच्छा बन जाएगा, बट आई नीड टू स्पेंड सम टाइम. दैट इज व्हाट बाद में. एंड छोड़ो इज लाइक यू कुड नॉट गेट एनीथिंग आउट ऑफ इट. सो छोड़ दो. ओके. Classify based on familiarity, concepts required, paths to solution, and estimated time. That's how you classify a question, and that's the normal strategy for any paper, that you look at. Okay, I am very familiar with algebra, and within algebra, I'm very familiar with modulus questions and inequalities. I get a question on modulus inequality, I'm going to ace it, right? Concepts, is it like a question of one concept or is it like multiple concepts? If one concept, I think I can manage well. But if there are multiple concepts, I might look at it some other question. Path to solution. In your mind, can you see the solution? If you can, I think great. And how much time? Time is, everything, and it is of a sense. Okay, you should remember the approaches to different questions. How do you really approach this question? And that's something which is a part of, and when you really do revision, and Asha, who's your English faculty, she keeps talking about this muscle memory, and there are some really, what do you say, uh, a lot of people, famous authors, scientists, neurolinguists, they keep talking about this muscle memory. So what happens if you keep solving the same question by same approach over a period of time, your muscle memory will develop and automatically those approach will come. That is what, and that's why people say practice makes the man, woman, everyone perfect, right? So that's what I'm talking about. The values and languages might change, the approach doesn't. And your mindset should be positive. You don't have to really panic. That's the strategy. to-do list. Now I'm almost at the end of this particular, program. So VRC, what do you do? Two RCs a day, 30 minutes of general reading, Aeon, Guardian, NY2, five verbal questions, and analyze mocks and decisions. LRDI, three sets, 40 minutes, solve questions, Sudoku, Kakuru, Kenken, whatever you wish to improve your set selection. So when I do a video on LRDI, I would talk about how do we really, improve our set selection. That is crucial because that's what is the key in LRDI. QA, 15 minutes of bit of calculation so that you become very comfortable with numbers, and 25 questions a day in 75 minutes, around 3 minutes of this thing, and maintain a formula, new concepts, book, whatever you do. And this LPTG approach is about learn, practice, and test. So theory and concepts, videos, class exercises, learn module. In my case, my IMS, but wherever you are, everywhere this is going to be there, isn't it? Uh, I'll tell you. See, online everything is important now. A lot of people keep asking about should I join an online or I join offline. Sorry, I talk about online. Everything is available. So it's just free, so use it, right? And offline you go for mentorship, offline you go somebody who can really rip you apart, that boss, you're not doing well. uh, I can do that, so you can come and I would do the job. But someone who can tell you that, look, I went through this, so don't worry, this guy went through it, can make you meet some of the people. So it's basically coaching, mentorship is where you have to go. Practice is going to be online, so a lot of practice you have to do, and take a lot of simcats, right, mock cats, whatever you wish to do, practice. Okay, so what you can do right now, June. So expected percentile is around in June, July is 80. What is 80 percentile? 80 percentile is around 10 to 12 questions correct, believe me. Which means if I am good with English, out of 24, I'll try and get 7 questions correct, right? I'm bad with maths. I'll try to solve around 2 questions correct. That's it, 2 questions, 9, and 3 questions in DINLR. One set, 3 questions, right? And it might happen I'm very weak in DILR, so 0 questions in DILR and 3 questions in quants in June, July. This is what I'm looking at. If I'm very good with quants, I'll reverse because English takes more time to improve and maths DI takes very, very little time to improve. So English will take time. So maybe 2 questions correct in English and one set of DI, 5 questions, and maybe 3 questions of quants. So 5 plus 3, 8 plus 2, 10. I am at 80 percentile. Trust me. Again, I'm telling you, if you are a non-engineer, right? If you are a EWS or a SC/ST or a OBC student and you get 80 percentile and you are an okay student in terms of 10, 12 and graduation, okay mean around 75, 80%, you are going to get at least 5, 6 IM calls. And that's good news in June, July, isn't it? Only concepts and section level awareness. I keep talking in classroom, and if you are my student, you would be listening again. This is what I talk about. And believe me, if you do this, very much possible that you reach 99. And that's what the plan is. August, September, start taking tests because you've already done your syllabus, isn't it? So topic level awareness will come once you start doing a lot of, what do you say, revision and test and practice module, workshops, master classes here in IMS, past CAT papers, sectional tests, SimCATs. This is what it is all about, right? And October, November, you can push yourself to 99. And here, instead of topic level awareness, now you have question level awareness. You will say, okay, boss, this question I'm able to do it. This question I'm able to do it. I remember, in fact, I remember questions like during my time also, and I still remember a lot of questions, right? The question will come, and a lot of my friends will make fun of me. They'll say, Archal, tum to rattu ho. I take pride in being rattu, right? And I'm telling you, I have rattofied mathematics to that extent where I remember that, okay, there is one, you know, perpendicular and there is one circle, there is another circle, bigger and smaller circle. What could be the ratio of small r by capital R? And I'll remember, okay, this is root 3 minus 1 by root 3 plus 1. That level I went to. And I have nothing to lose. I have all the time in this world. What do? So I keep practicing a lot of questions. I keep making my own formulas in last 2 months. So, and I tried and automate. It's almost like software, right? As much as you can automate. In October, November, you make your own formulas. Till September, I don't ask you to do anything as far as formula is concerned. You do it properly, and 95, you can do it properly. Right? Speed, if you want to increase, that's where. And I don't even want you to use my formulas. You make your own formulas. That is where you evolve as a student. Right? You won't get 99 by through me. You are going to get 99 through you. So that's what you will do, practice and stuff like that. I think I would end with this. Give me a minute, I am good. Give me an hour, I am great. So give me 6 months, 5 months, I'm unbeatable. I'm telling you, very much possible for you to do it. What about CAT 25 students? I would still say start your preparation now. CAT 26, start your preparation now. You've just gone through plus two. I don't believe, a lot of people say it's too early. No. If I know I'm average, and believe me, and this is not to pull you down. See, if I have not got 95 in 10th and 12th, right now I'm average. What's shame in that? It's okay. I'm average, but can I be great? Answer is yes, by doing the same stuff again and again. Start your preparation even for CAT 26 now, right? What you should do, read novels, do Word Power Made Easy, do a lot of good stuff, read blogs, do internships. That's read Economic Times. That's your preparation for CAT. Solve Sudoku. Where do you get for CAT 24? Where do you get time too much to solve Sudoku? Where do you get to solve puzzles? Isn't it? There are so many puzzles which are there. So therefore, you can actually start and finish your syllabus once, revise, and that's what I'm going to do. So, I hope, you know, you, I was of some use to you, but I'm going to bore you next time again by coming up with a lot of videos. Uh, what do I say? I've been training students for a long period of time uh, in Patna as well as in Calcutta. And sometimes I get an opportunity to go to Delhi and Bombay and take up few sessions, not much. But Calcutta I taught for so many years, right? More than 10 years, and same with Patna. And it's really, I'm very happy because this is the medium through which you can now interact. And I'm good to really start. My inertia was there that I never used to be here. There were other things which I used to do, but I think I enjoyed my session with you, and you can give comments, right? You can abuse me. I don't look for praise. My age is now such that if you throw punches me, I'm thick-skinned, so nothing is going to happen to me. Trust me. But you can be in touch with me, right? And I would share on YouTube channel itself my number. You can always WhatsApp me, and if you call me, I'm going to block. It's automatically blocked, right? But WhatsApp is a great means. I think I'm going to start this Telegram channel also. We can be in touch. And I love it when people interact with me. I live on that. And I can confess that I'm on high when I'm amongst with my students. So thanks a lot for listening to me, giving me that respect that you listen to me, and see you soon. Thank you.